Hello, everybody. We were trying to wait for Marsha. Her computer crashed and her internet was down, but we have to go live by 8:10 or we lose Facebook. So we went ahead and went live, and hopefully Marsha will be here in just a couple of minutes to join us. Hopefully her computer will behave. So happy Tuesday. Thank you guys for being here with us. I greatly appreciate it. I am Kat, the Nurse Flipper. I'm joined by my co-host, Sonny, Las Vegas, and below us, my good friend who makes the majority of the super chats is Geno's Finds. So I am going to make Geno big, let him introduce himself. We've got quite a few questions in there, so if you have questions, get them in early. Hi, everybody. I see all you guys. All right, so here is Mr. Geno.
Well, we're going to answer all the questions tonight, except for the guy who said I'm the only bald person on the panel. No, you're not getting your question. I have a YouTube channel where I take you on ride-alongs, and I go to Goodwills and garage sales, and I tell you what I bought, how much I paid for them, and what I expect to get for them. We have a lot of fun doing it, I hope, and it's pretty informative.
Perfect. All right. Let's see. I think we got a couple of super chats, so we'll grab those first. Miss Elena always sends us one before we start. She said, hello and happy Tuesday. I'm going to give you Marsha. We're going to alternate between Marsha, even though she's not here yet, so you guys can see her on there, and the kitty cat for Elena. So here's Marsha.
That's cute, Marsha.
Geno made that one.
He probably made it.
Oh, we have two more. Rummage to Riches said, love this podcast. My first time attending in real life. We are happy to have you here with us live where you can chat with everybody. And I actually, hold on. You had a couple of comments. She said she's excited to be attending the Reseller retreat in July. So if you guys didn't hear about that, July 20th to 24th, we're doing an in-person event at a really upscale retreat house. Geno will be there. Marsha will be there. Sonny can't make it this time, but maybe another time Sonny will be able to make it. Trish will be there. Yeah. As far as a rough agenda, I know a couple people asked as far as like when to fly in on Monday. I think we can't check into the house until like 4. So Monday's really, you're not going to miss a ton. It's going to be like network and everybody just hanging out on Monday and checking in kind of thing. So Monday, it really doesn't matter what time you get there. The classes and all of the learning and workshops and stuff won't start till Tuesday. So really anytime Monday, you're good. And if you let us know when you're flying in, we can have Tyler come and pick you up from the airport. We voluntold him that he is chauffeuring.
He does accept tips.
Yep. So he will gladly accept tips, I'm sure. We'll send him. We'll probably do like an hour or 2 hour block and just grab everybody at the same time if there's a few flights coming in at the same time, which we'll email and coordinate that with you guys. And I wanted to put this up here too. I was actually talking to Trish about this. Rummage to Riches also said, Vinted does not like resellers. I use a different name from other platforms and post directly on the Vinted app. I used to post from Bindu and got a reprimand from Vinted. So Trish and I were talking about this, and it is actually against Vinted's policy for resellers or businesses to list on their platform. So I decided I'm just not going to. I got annoyed because every time you close the tab, you have to sign back in. And that was like annoying as crap to me. And so that's why I quit listing on there. But it's in their terms of service. They do not want resellers on their platform. So, yeah. All right. Let's find you something to give you. I'm going to do my octopus. Here you go. Dun, 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 dun. My battery's about to die on my laptop. No bueno. doesn't want to open. All right, let me see what else we got. I think there was one more from Hey, I Had That Too. Said, hi, friends. Have a great show. We'll give you Sonny because I know a lot of you said you miss Sonny's hair. Sonny does not miss his hair, I don't think.
I don't. My neck feels so good.
It's heavy. You don't realize. Like I used to wear mine up in a bun all the time, and it would give me a headache. And now I wear it down more. So the first time I cut it all off, because my hair used to be short, was because I only had it in a bun. I'm like, why do I have this hair if I never have it down? So, all right, here's Sonny with hair.
Wow, that's a lot of hair.
It was a lot of hair.
A lot of hair.
That is a lot of hair.
Mom,
Yes.
I reached to open the door and there was a frog on the handle just chilling.
Oh, Mommy forgot to show them your pencil. Would you like to show them that?
Yes.
So we just made this on the 3D printer. So this is an old spool of filament we used. Look, there was a file you can make a cat toy. So we made this for the cats so they can pop. It has a ball and a top and a bottom. And now the cats have a new toy from our old filament spool. And it just finished. Dalton's going to test it. Have you showed Boo it yet? He hasn't showed the cat yet. So we'll let you know if the cat likes it. And I forgot. Dalton told me that I had to show you this pencil. He found this on the playground and he absolutely loved it.
Not on the playground. Mother.
Oh, where? I'm sorry.
Right by the table at the school.
Oh, by the table at the school. And he said, I have to show you because he really, really likes his little pencil that he found. Marsha, come in. Come in. All right. There's the cat toy that we made.
Pencil.
And let's find, what are we going to do? Oh, Marsha, we already did you, even though you weren't here. Let's do the eagle. Everybody yells at me because I don't do the eagle enough. Here it is. And Marsha's here now. Well, dadgummit. This thing is being a pain in my butt.
I forgot about that one.
You know, I don't understand Vincent if they're against resellers because all I ever see that's promoted from them are being promoted by resellers, and the items on there look like they're from resellers.
Hi, Marsha.
So weird.
Yeah, it really doesn't make sense. But from what, like Trish said, it was against their terms of service, and now we're hearing again that somebody got like reprimanded for posting from Vindu. And I mean, just because you use Vindu or List Perfectly, that doesn't mean necessarily that you're a big seller. Like a hobby person could easily post from those platforms as well. That doesn't mean you're a reseller. You know what I'm saying? Like, that doesn't really make sense. Marsha, we were talking about how Vinted, it is against their terms of service. They don't want resellers.
That's weird.
I wonder what their definition of a reseller is and what they don't want and what they will accept. Because it feels like they're limiting themselves really bad from the potential of saying, hey, we want
Yeah, so what? You just sell everything out of your house and then you can't sell anymore?
Yeah.
Right. And I bet a lot of people who are resellers started like that. You know? Dalton, what are you eating? Yogurt?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because like they start selling out of their closet and then they see, oh, I'm making money. And then that's when they start thrifting and looking for more stuff to sell because they see they're making like this little bit of side money.
Yeah.
You know? So I bet like you said, like where's that line drawn?
Yeah.
And I think Trish said, I think Etsy owns Vinted. Yeah. And I mean, like Kate's right. Like, isn't everyone on there a reseller? Technically, yeah, they're selling their own clothes. That's a reseller.
Yeah.
You know?
Technically,
So,
anybody having a garage
I don't
sale is a
know
reseller.
their definition of, I don't know. Sonny's eating gummy bears right before we went live. Me and Dalton were eating chips and French onion dip. Is that the big bad wolf?
And 3 little pigs.
All right, let's
Okay.
see what else we've got.
Oh, and
Hopefully, all my computer will
you were
behave now.
I know
So.
I am. I had to do it different because I didn't have the other printer on here. All right, Bobby says, I want to start cross listing from eBay to Poshmark. How do I avoid getting in trouble? Get that cat out of here. Getting in trouble for ending the listing on Poshmark that's sold on eBay.
Well, I don't sell on Poshmark, so I'll have to pass that one.
I have to pass it too. I don't sell on Poshmark.
Same here. I do not. Only
Okay, I'm
eBay.
going to answer and then I'm going to evict Pig because Dalton's scared to pick him up because he will bite him because he does not want to go out. I'm going to evict Pig as soon as I answer this.
Oh.
It's not, you won't get in trouble overall for ending a listing on Poshmark. What Poshmark's big thing is they don't want you ending and relisting it to try and bump it in the algorithm is my understanding. Now, I have heard of people erroneously getting suspensions on Poshmark for this, but per their policy, it's not an issue of you ending it. It's an issue of you ending and then relisting it. So hopefully you like, I sell a lot on eBay. I end a ton on Poshmark and I have never gotten in trouble for that. I got in trouble for canceling orders, but I did not get in trouble for ending listings. I've never, and I end a lot on there. So hopefully you should have no issues. There's no policy against ending items. The policy is against ending and relisting. Constance said, and I just need 2 seconds to evict this cat. I don't know who's selling on Etsy. I'm thinking this is going to come back to me again. I'm thinking of listing uranium glass plates, etc. on Etsy. Is there 39? Oh, Dalton got smart. He just lured him with cat food. Is there a $39.99 startup fee a good deal?
$39.99 startup fee to sell on Etsy?
I've never heard of this.
When I started on Etsy, there was no startup fee. So if you're going to sell like you do on eBay a lot, then I guess, yeah, it would be. But if you're only going to do 1 or 2 items.
I never heard of the startup fee, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Never heard of that either.
I haven't heard of this either. And anybody in the chat, if you've heard about this, let us know.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Gemini knows all. So, according to Gemini, as of 2026, the $39.99 fee is a new seller setup fee for a bundled promotional offer. While Etsy historically allowed free shop openings, they introduced a one-time setup fee that ranges from $15 to $29 to combat spam and bot accounts. Why the price varies. So it says different countries may have different administration or verification costs. You have to be verified. You're charged more if you require additional security or compliance reviews. And then occasionally Etsy bundles a setup fee with other credits like listing credits or ad credits, which may bring the total to the $39.99. It says if you're seeing this fee on a site other than Etsy, though, be careful because some companies will charge you to open it and that is not required. So just make sure you're on Etsy.com if you're seeing it and that that it is definitely an Etsy thing, not some company trying to promote it to you. I love having AI there because I did not know what that was.
So I guess the answer to a question, is it a good deal? It would be if you're going to be consistently listing on Etsy.
Yeah, and it sounds like if that's what it is, it sounds like that they are giving you, like, after their $19 to $29, they're giving you the rest in credit for listing fees.
I don't understand why they're charging actual people and not punishing or trying to find a solution for the bots, because it started out due to the bots, we're doing this, this, and this.
Right. And I was reading because here, Dalton, will you go plug mommy's laptop in, or ask Tyler too? It's about dead. Because I've gotten into the 3D printing so much, I was reading, and I'm in a bunch of forums for the 3D printers. Etsy said that they will not allow anybody to print anything that is not designed by them. So a lot of those sellers on there only make designs. They don't even print them themselves. They're designers. They want to sell the files, and they will sell a commercial license so that you legally can sell their design. So Etsy decided if you didn't make it, you didn't design it, then you can't sell it. And so, but that kind of messed up some of the designers, because then the people that were buying their designs to print to sell could no longer sell them on Etsy. So, and how are they going to verify? Like, what if the real designer's there, somebody else is there, and they kick off the real designer versus so it's like a hot mess. That was, I think, like a year ago. I think that's the thread that I was reading. But I will say Etsy has been catching up to eBay. We've been averaging about 5,000 a month, and we average 10 to 20,000 a month on eBay. So, I mean, not where eBay is, but a significant amount. And what I typically do is like higher dollar jewelry. I started doing down to like $30 though, because I was getting a lot of $30 to $50 sales, because I had put like a few items there. So I was doing that. And it just make sure that it is vintage is the big thing. Other than that, so yeah, if you're getting the credits and you're gonna list like Marsha said and use the credits, then I think it's fine. And it sounds like it's just a promotion they're doing. Just make sure it's them.
I like that it's a one-time thing too.
Yeah, it's not. I wish that they had stores like eBay does, because they don't. So you have to pay 20 cents per listing every 4 months. And that's why I wasn't putting lower dollar items on there. Because that 20 cents over and over and over. It adds up. So I just wanted to put this up real quick. Titchy Farm said on Poshmark, you can mark it as not for sale. You don't have to end it. So just a quick note. All right. Power Corrupt said, just an observation. They're on the East Coast, New England, and I've noticed significant change from USPS to FedEx and UPS in my shipping stats due to price changes from just before the USPS price hike. And a lot of people, and I would have bought something from a seller, and I'm trying to remember. I think it was a shirt. No, it was a hat. It was a sun hat for the boat. And they had a really good price on it. Their shipping was $30 for a hat. And I'm like, why is your shipping $30? Because a hat is not going to be an oversized box. It's not fragile. And they're like, well, if you're on the West Coast, I'm like, I'm not. Like, I'm on the East Coast too.
Yeah.
They didn't change it. I didn't buy it from them. I actually bought it from the company new for cheaper because of their shipping fee.
They must have had the wrong weight in or something.
Yeah, or dimensions or something, because I could see like $15 if it was a 2-pound rate, but $30 on the same coast is not, like, it's a straw hat. It's not heavy.
They don't weigh anything.
No. And I would, like I said, I would have bought it from them, but I didn't. And the company had it on sale for $30. So I ended up buying it from the company directly for less than their shipping charge was. I got the hat for less than the shipping charge was. So I will say, if you're a seller and you are rounding up, be very, very wary of it, because an extra pound could mean like $15-20 right now. And you're gonna lose those sales. Like, from a buyer's side and a seller's side, you're gonna lose those sales. I used to round a lot up because it was only like a couple bucks. That's not the case anymore. So be very, very careful if you're rounding up.
I round down.
I round down as well. It's kind of like my jewelry. I've been doing free shipping. If it's like 4-ounce items, I've been doing free shipping on jewelry. But on like the 1 and 2 pound stuff, it's almost like a halfway. Like you get half free. Like I'll pay the overage. Like I'm giving them some of the shipping as like a credit, but the rest of it I am not. So they're paying some. Laura wants to know, do you film your YouTube videos on your phone? And if so, do you use an Android or an iPhone? And do you edit your videos on your phone?
I use a GoPro, and I edit in Filmora on the computer.
I use my phone. Every time I get a phone, I always get the better one. So I end up paying $30 a month to whichever Verizon.
Lease, yeah.
Yeah. And then I edit on my computer, and I use CapCut to edit. And I couldn't edit on this thing. My eyes would go batty. So the computer makes it much easier to edit.
Getting older, eyes are straining for myself.
Yeah.
I use the iPhone. For the longest time, I was using, I'll show you CapCut. And when I'm on my computer, I use Adobe Premiere Pro. I've been using Adobe Premiere Pro, Adobe Illustrator, Adobe After Effects ever since I was in college back in 2012. Been paying for that membership every month. I say that because if you have anybody in the family or if you're a student in college, have your school email and get a discount off of that for as long as you can. And then eventually they're going to ask you like, oh, you should be done with school by now, update it. And you're not going to be able to without having the school email again. So I like editing. I'm going to get back to creating long form videos very soon. I've been doing short videos for quite some time. And team iPhone.
So I do not film my videos on my phone. I did for the first 2 years of my YouTube channel though. So I will tell you it is 110% possible. There are a lot of bigger channels that only use their phone. I didn't buy a camera till my YouTube channel paid for it. So I use a Sony ZV-1 and I also use it for my webcam. That's what you guys are seeing me on now. As far as Android or iPhone, I am Android 100%. I cannot stand using an iPhone. I do have them for my business because a lot of apps function better on them. So like I use them to go live on Whatnot and stuff. I have 2 iPhones that we use for business. And I edit my videos solely on my phone. I actually bought a gaming laptop because it was like fast and high powered with the intention of starting to edit videos on the computer. And I hated it. And I went back to the phone. And I know Kevin, Commonwealth Picker, I don't know if he still does, but at least like last year, he was still editing everything on his phone as well. I will tell you, like for our thrifting videos, which I'm not doing anymore, but when I was doing them, I was using a GoPro. Marsha showed me she had like a magnetic necklace that sits here and you can put your GoPro right on your chest. And I actually use the GoPro still to film my hauls. So I still do use it. And then I upload those videos to my phone and I edit those on my phone as well. So I am 100% edit on the phone. All right. Karen wants to know, can you Frankenbox 2 priority mailboxes together to create the size you need? Of course, using the correct postage amount to mail.
You can Frankenbox regular priority boxes, but not the flat rates. Although some people say you can Frankenbox the flat rates, but then it becomes a regular priority mailbox.
Yes, I've done it. I don't do it anymore, but you can put them together. But it's all according to the postal clerk. If you get one that's going to give you a hard time, he's going to say, no, we can't take it. So try to cover it up with some tape and you'll probably get away with it anyway.
Yeah, as long as it's not flat rate. I've been doing that for quite some time. Haven't recently, but I've done it for years. And the point was with Marsha to reiterate that don't use flat rate, 2 separate flat rate boxes together.
Sorry.
Try to get over on a flat rate box.
What was that too, though?
That was my bad. I hit the wrong button.
What was she saying she was going to sign up for, though?
That was Etsy, I think, the Etsy conversation.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. I'm having computer issues today.
Happens.
Stop shaking mommy's chair, please. Hold on. I was trying to grab these questions. Where did it go? So you can actually Frankenbox flat rates. The only thing is that once you alter a flat rate box, it's no longer a flat rate rate. But you can do that. We Frankenbox the shoebox priority ones together for like fishing poles and stuff all the time and canes, but you do have to use priority mail. That's the only thing. Like you can't Frankenbox priority mailboxes and then send them grounded managed. You're not allowed to do that. Miss Barbara wants to know, what were your careers before you were full-time resellers?
I was in real estate, and before that, I was a police officer.
Okay, I used to get arrested by Marsha. That's what at first. My first job ever, I was the driver for Trotters and Pacers. I used to run races at racetracks. And then I got into, I owned video arcades. I had 3 of them. And what else did I do? Well, I was on Storage Wars Miami, which I like to say on here, just for a couple of shows. And what else? And I had the video rental stores. I used to rent the tapes before, when Blockbuster was around. They're gone, and so are my video rental stores.
Rest in peace, Daryl. Storage Wars.
Yeah.
Before this, going full time as a reseller, I was at the Wynn Casino. I started as a ground floor indoor security guard, went up to bike officer, and then ended up going to armed security, where I was making over $110,000 a year. And before that, I was dabbling into some things and only working. It's going to sound horrible. Only working because my wife was like, "Hey, every time I leave home, you're in the kitchen. Every time I come back from work, you're still in the kitchen. You're not doing anything," because she wasn't seeing me working, reselling, doing stuff. So she said I had to go get a job. So I ended up being a kickboxing instructor and went from 255 pounds down to 170 pounds. And I said, I'm going to go back to reselling. And my wife was like, "Nope, tired of you being at home. Go get another job." So I went to go work at the post office. And I loved it because I was turning in orders before I clocked in and never had any issues. So it taught me a lot of what the post office does. But since 2016, a lot of things with shipping have changed. So it's not really relevant other than how I know they treat packages for those that don't care about your package. And there's people that will sling it from one side to the other and will purposely say, "Oh, it didn't make the sound I wanted it to. Let me try again." I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" And people see them do it. It was nuts.
Especially if it has a fragile sticker on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember, put Jesus on your box. If you weren't here, somebody said, like, so in Mexico, like boxes going to Mexico, they put pictures of Jesus on it because nobody would damage their boxes or steal them because
Jesus is watching.
I think everybody knows, obviously I was a nurse. That was my last career for 11 years. Prior to that, I was a professional photographer for 8 years. I did mainly baby portraits and like family portraits. It was like I was a studio photographer. I did like wedding photography and stuff on the side. And then before that, I actually owned my own business, just like this, with plants. I owned a plant nursery and I sold my plants on eBay. I did have like a nursery storefront where people could come buy from me. I would just randomly put up signs when I wanted. It was in my yard. And my mom lives on a main road, so sometimes I would sell it from her yard. I'd bring plants down there. But the majority was income from eBay. We were selling the plants on eBay and I would ship them out. So that was like my 3 main ones. I stayed at home for a while too. My older kid's dad was in the military, so I was a stay-at-home mom. And I was doing eBay then too. When I was a stay-at-home mom, I was doing eBay to make extra money then as well. All right. Susan said, for those of you that sell on Vinted, and I don't know that any of us do, how do you get listing up so quickly? It seems they do not allow cross listing. So we touched on this a little bit earlier. They don't want resellers. You guys in the audience were saying that you were getting warnings if you were posting from Vindu or List Perfectly. Are any of us on the panel selling on Vinted? I quit because I got tired of having to log in every time I closed the window, but no. So maybe some of you in the chat, if you're selling on there, if you could help her answer that. Lucas said, I received a cancellation notice from the buyer. I accepted it, but eBay's asking me to leave feedback. I never shipped the item. I'm top rated seller. Will this hurt my status?
No, you don't have to leave feedback.
No, you don't.
Feedback, leaving feedback or not doesn't hurt you at all.
No, not at all. Marsha's absolutely right.
Geno's right that Marsha's right.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can say all that. That's a big mouthful.
Just say ditto. Ditto.
Yeah, what they said. So if they requested the cancellation, as long as it wasn't showing up in your items to be shipped, you're completely fine. And as far as not leaving status, it really doesn't matter.
No.
Tutu's Attic says aloha. Good evening. Beautiful
Aloha.
weather in Las Vegas. So who in the panel who's in my listing challenge, and you can let everybody know. I think we have like 65 people in it. Who's in the listing challenge?
Is there something to sign up for that?
No, there was a listing challenge.
Yeah, let me get the link.
The Google link.
I started it yesterday.
I have it. Yeah, Sonny, you can do it and just put your stuff from yesterday. I'll put the link in the chat. So we made a Google Drive spreadsheet, and as long as you have the link, you can edit it. So you can put your name and your email, and you put your goal of listings, and then every day you come and you record so everybody can see. I think I counted there were 17 people yesterday that did not record their listings. Now,
shame.
But with that being said, eBay was cyber hacked on Sunday. It was still not working on Monday. It was still not working this morning. So if that's the case, just throw 0 in. I got 10 in yesterday before it went down again. And my goal is 20, and I was only able to get 10, but today I did 30 to make up for it. It's more accountability. Like there's no, we're not going to kick you out if you're not listing your goal. That's on you. But if you don't put in what you list for a couple of days, then we will remove you, because we want people who are being active and participating. And I saw a few people who put a few months out a few days out, and that's fine. Like if your goal was 5 and you did 15 today and you scheduled 5, totally fine. Put them in that you did them. If they're scheduled to go out, you did them. And like those of you going on vacation, if you wanted to do that too, you could do that as well. And just put that you scheduled them out. You don't have to technically, put them out that day. All right. Yeah, see, that was me too. I had listed a few things. Kate said in 4 months on Vinted, I sold 1 item. I don't think I sold any. And I was just like, I'm over this. I think I listed for 2 days. And I was like, I am so over this.
Let me answer Dusty's question here real quick.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Dusty, all you have to do is click on that link and then go down to under the name. You just type in your name, your email address, and how many you're going to do every day. And then the next box, you just click on it when you do each day, and you put how many you did. That's all it is. It's just
it's really easy. You just click and put it. You don't have to know how. It's literally just go to the bottom of everybody who's already signed up and put your name and put what your goal is, which it can be whatever you want. There are people in there with 1. I think the highest I've seen is 20. I don't think. Let's see. Was anybody brave?
I don't know. I haven't looked today.
No, nobody's. So just me and Angela have a goal of 20. Everybody else is below 20.
I know I can't do that many every day. So.
I know that I can do 50 if I put if I grind and only do that. But I know I have other stuff.
But you have help too. That's not fair.
Well, I mean, it still takes me as long because I'm doing the higher dollar. So it takes, I mean, with AI Express Lister, it's just the photos. Like that part's not the long part. The long part's the research and the pricing.
Oh, see, to me, photos is what takes forever. That's the part I can't.
Oh, I can do, especially jewelry. See, we're doing a ton of jewelry. Jewelry's super fast. I can like throw the clothes. Now, clothes would be a different story.
Ugh.
I actually had them organize my death pile today into categories so I could go through certain categories because I wanted to pull some linens for a linen show that aren't listed yet. And we have a floor that I haven't seen in like 8 months, and it looks amazing in here. So they did that today. I'm super happy about that. Miss Eleanor wants to know, would it behoove me to get a storage bin? I think she means like a storage unit, as my house is becoming overwhelmed with my items to sell.
Oh, I can answer that one. Yeah, everything I have is in a storage unit, 4 storage units actually. It's nice because you're not going to have it in your house, so you'll have everything separate. But you'll be going back and forth a lot if you sell stuff. Because you have to go there, pick up what you sell, bring it home and pack it if you get your stuff at home. Because your computer is going to be at home. Because a lot of, like my storage unit, the internet's like almost non-existent up there, and there's no plugs to plug in for power source. So I do a lot of back and forth. Thank goodness it's only like 5 minutes from my house, but still it can be a pain sometimes. But if you don't want it in your house, then yes, but there's cost to it too. And they go up like every 4 months, they're going to jack your rate. So keep that in mind.
Yeah, I used to buy storage rooms instead of going to Goodwills and stuff. And you needed a storage. You definitely have to have a storage room. But like Marsha said, and I bet Sonny says Marsha and Geno were right. I know he's going to say that. So that you're going to have to travel to the storage room a lot, and and it's really a pain to do that. So try to keep the stuff you kind of think will sell in your house, like I do on the walls. And then if you have to get a storage room because you're just too cluttered and your husband or wife wants to kill you, then you're going to have to travel back and forth.
And get the smallest one you can because of cost.
Yeah, traveling is definitely one. This is the second time I've had a storage unit. This new one that I have is literally just 2 blocks down the road. But even though it's so close to commute to, I still think about what my purpose is of going back and forth there. I try to think, what am I going to do for the next week that I could move over there or bring from and knock it out and know that I'm not going to have it anymore, either at my house or at my storage unit. And then I have a vintage booth, and that's another thing where I'm like filtering things out to make a purpose. And I think the biggest thing for me that I'm realizing is that junk is junk. If it's not worth it, get it off your hands, make that space, and start to breathe more and more, and just do better next time without it catching up to you and being overwhelming. And I've said this before, one of the biggest things that I've done to myself, it's also in my relationship where it's overwhelmed my wife. And I'm like, but it's money and it's there. Very true, but it's also hindering us from her having her standards, and I shouldn't lower mine just because it's worth money. I should still have a process that I'm working on and not just let it sit around like I have been. And I'm doing pretty good. I'm almost done. Just yesterday, I started working out of my office compared to my garage, and it's a huge leap forward compared to the mess that I created for myself because it was too good of a price to let go of.
Yeah, and for me, I'm lucky I have land. So when mine became overwhelming in the house, I started buying sheds. And I have 2 sheds that I use, and then I also have, my house is an old farmhouse, so they had a canning kitchen, and my canning kitchen was my first storage space, and once that was filled, that's when I started getting sheds. And I have a second house that's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath that I use for storage as well. So I'm lucky I have it all on my property. I don't have to leave. I'm not sure how well I would do having to leave because I don't like having to leave. But when we moved it out of the house into the canning room and the shed, it was like such a relief because I know for me, and I think for the majority of people too, seeing clutter stresses me out. Whether like it just like it's like so much stuff just stresses me out, and like it's so much nicer in here organized. Same thing, like night and day difference. So I saw somebody said their spare bedroom. That is how I started, because my house has an extra bedroom. And then it turned into like, we have a living room and we have a fireplace room. It turned into, the fireplace room had shelves, like a storage unit in the fireplace room. And we had to hang up curtains to hide it from people when they came to the house. And now though, the only things in the house are the stuff that I'm displaying for myself. Like I have some art on the wall that is for sale. I have some pottery in my grandmother's china cabinet that's for sale. So it's stuff that I want in there because I want it in there. It's not in there because I don't have anywhere else to put it. And then like our 3D printers are also in the house, but I'm obsessed with them at the moment. I don't know if eventually I have room in the sheds to put them. I like them in the house. So those are in the house, and we used to do the whatnot sales in the house in the spare bedroom. And it has been so nice. So like now this half that you see where I'm at is where we list and where we ship. And the other half of the shed is a table with a whatnot set up. And so now everything's out here and it's beautiful. And Trish has a bedroom when she comes to stay, but now it has 2 3D printers in it. If you didn't hear, I did buy a second printer. We got it set up earlier today. They are both running right now. And yeah, so Trish will have to sleep in the bedroom with the 3D printers, or maybe I might move them out to the living room when she's here and be nice.
Yeah, one thing with the storage unit too, if you're going to do that, you might want to, I don't know what your shipping time is, but I have it set for 2 days, because you may go to the storage unit in the morning and then you have to go to the post office and then sell something else. You don't want to be making another trip. So I do it every other day, because I'll pick up this day to ship this day and then pick those up to ship the next day. And that's kind of how I rotate, because otherwise you're going to, doctor shipping. So you got to keep that in mind too.
And Rod, I actually am going to see Rod tomorrow. Rod said he just got his 3rd increase in, I think, a year on his storage unit. So he's actually selling me some designer boxes and dust bags. I've bought some from him before. He didn't get around to listing them, and he said that the price increase is just too much.
Most of them go up every 4 months. They'll do an increase every 4 months.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
Like.
And you can't tell me their expenses really go up, because there's no really expenses.
And if you have the money for it to pay months out, I have a couple of friends. They're pretty loaded, and they're just like, I have 8 lockers, and they just buy it for a year out at a time, so that way they don't raise the price
with that.
Yeah,
But do they up it, like those increases at the end of the year though?
No, not as high as it would be. I've asked them that
if it was multiple increases. Yeah, the people that I actually bought all the designer boxes from, they have warehouses for storage, which is absolutely crazy. All right, I got sent a message with a question, so you guys have to listen because it's in my messages. Robin said, my question is, how do you find how much to sell an item for and what it is? I use Google Lens and can't find on the platforms. So if you have an item, you can't identify it or find it on the platforms, what do you do?
I will find something as similar as I can, and then just kind of base the condition of mine, the size of mine, is mine fancier or not, and just kind of get an idea. And sometimes I just wing it and throw a price on it and kind of go gauge by that. And I'll check different platforms, go to them directly. Like if you do Google Lens and you can't really find it, go to eBay directly. Sometimes you can find it that way, or Etsy, or well, you can't really do Etsy, but do it that way and see if that helps a little bit better. Otherwise, I just kind of gauge by what's similar.
Yeah, I use Lens first. That's always first. And then you can write eBay on the top of the Lens, and it'll give you all the prices on eBay. You don't even have to go to eBay. But if you still can't find it, you could call Kat, because she has, I forget what the one she pays for. But like Marsha said, find something similar, list it on bid then. Don't list it as sell it now. Because one time, a little story, I bought a Coca-Cola Barbie and she had brown hair. Well, the Coca-Cola Barbie with brown hair went for $200 and the one with blonde hair was like $19. So sometimes it's worth it to keep looking till you find out what exactly you have. You'll be a lot happier sometimes.
And try, if you don't have Worth Point, you can sign up for Worth Point because that goes back, what, 10 years? Or the
Yeah.
research on eBay itself goes back 3. So you can try that first, too.
Sonny, what do you do?
Sorry, what was the question?
He puts it on Whatnot.
He, she said, here, I'll read the whole, she said, how do you find how much to sell an item for and what it is?
All right.
She tries using Google Lens and can't always find the item on platforms. So what do you do if it's an item that you can't find?
Marsha brought up 2 points, and one, a lot of people forget. I know we use Google Lens majority of times, but Marsha did say use eBay. eBay has little link on the bottom, has the little magnifying thing, then it gives you 2 options, either barcode or image. And it's pretty much like Google Image just for eBay. And I tend to use that a lot more now that I'm listing back on eBay. And I wanted to harp on that because if Google Lens says one thing, back with what you can't find anything, you have to kind of generalize, like, is it rare? Is it limited? Is it numbered? What doesn't it have compared to others? Or what does it have compared to what others don't? And then just put a number up there that you feel is a good price and fair. Every once in a while, we come across very unique items that you feel like it's a money maker, and you could put a high price up there and fish for an offer, be open to offers as well. But I'm now more at the point and stage of my life as a reseller where I just want to bring things in and get it out as fast as possible. I do have long tail items that I know is worth it because I want as close to top dollar that I know it's worth and somebody's going to get it, and it pays off. But it's not too often that I'm finding big items like that.
Yeah, so for me, like Marsha said, I'll look for something similar because most times you picked it up, you know something to type in. And I'll type something in, look for something similar. And if I can't, a lot of stuff, I buy lots of the same type of thing. So I've been pricing other items that I can find. So I kind of have somewhat of an idea of where I want to price things. If I can't find the exact, though, a lot of times I'll price high. I just found a sign brooch, couldn't find the designer. It was 14 karat gold though. The melt value was like $350. I priced it at $500 and it sold in an hour. And I'm like, man, I probably just priced that too low. But I'm okay with it because I was only like not even $10 into it. And I sold it for $4.99. Now, if somebody knew that designer or knew more than I did, I don't know, but the melt value was $340. I did make sure I looked that up because I've undersold myself on gold in the past. But yeah, so I use WorthPoint and I will type things in. I wouldn't recommend, if you are newer, buying items that you cannot find. Because like for us, like if I've been selling stuff a lot, I kind of have an idea of what's going to sell and what it's going to sell for. Where if you're new, the tendency is to think, oh, I like it, everybody's going to like it. That is not true. I learned that the hard way. There's so much stuff that I think is cute and I love that sits here for years. So that is definitely not the case, unfortunately. All right.
I almost just tripped. Good night, Mother.
Good night, son.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night,
Bye.
Dolphin.
Okay.
It's almost my bye.
Okay, bye. Silver Lining Life says, I thought about sourcing for other sellers. Do you have a set rate for how much you pay people who source for you?
I would never let anybody source for me.
No.
I would have no idea.
I had people tell me that, can I sell their stuff, if that's what she's kind of mean.
No, she's saying like she's thinking of buying for people. I had somebody that did this for me.
Oh,
yeah.
No one resources for me, no.
Mm-mm.
No, I sell stuff to friends, but it's not the same thing as me being their personal shopper for stuff. One of the guys out here, they have, well, had their own shop. Now they downgraded from a shop because they're doing much better online, that they converted to online rather than having a storefront. And they were paying 30% of what the items were going for. And they felt that was a little too high for fees and everything after that and the work that goes into it. So I'm not sure where they're at now, but I would love to find a good price, because I would love to hire somebody to make things a lot easier for me just to source for stuff and piggyback over them, to see what the listings look like and just plug in a little bit more information or tweak some things. But this is one question that it strikes me pretty good because I need it as well.
Yeah. So for me, here's what happened. I had somebody, and the problem is she sourced like I sourced. And most people, if they're doing it and they want a job, they want regular hours. So when I say she sourced like I sourced, she could go out for a day and it would be a month's worth of inventory that she would come back with, which is what I do. I come back with my car full from the bottom to the top in one day. And so in that case, like, I'm like, okay, like, and I ended up not having her do it anymore just because of the fact that there was just no point. And I can go out in a day and source enough for a month if I wanted to. And I do source that much from online auctions for a month and a day. And I was just paying her what I pay everybody else, which is a little over minimum wage. But like Sonny was saying, like, I think that the better thing to do would be to pay them a percent. Like me, I typically buy at 10%. So I would probably be more at like 20%. So if they brought me something that sells for 100, I'd give them 20. If you got it for $5, you just made $15. And the other thing that I ran into with that was I had her sourcing, and she used to resell for herself, but it's been 10 years. She was sourcing stuff for me that was not worth listing. And so I had gotten her a business credit card. She was using my card. She was sourcing stuff. Like I saw people say, like I saw a comment that said people that have a good eye. So that's the thing is, if you were to do this, I would sell on Whatnot, right? Like sell on Whatnot, sell to resellers on Whatnot. If you're in California, it sounds like maybe people in California are. I know Brooke was just in San Diego for a week and she said the thrifting was crazy. She said she got like a $200 outfit for $5. She yelled at me, I better not put it in the dryer. She's like, I thrifted that in California. But it's hard. I know Kaylee Lane has people that do it, but she has specific brands and styles, and she does clothes, which I think if you had somebody that was a clothing seller that could tell you that, well, so here's the thing. And a lot of people that follow me are in this situation. I've ran into it multiple times. I do one-on-one coaching, and multiple people I have coached have been in this situation. So she's saying she has disability. There's a monthly income limit. With doing what you're saying, if you did Whatnot, you just hit your limit and stop doing shows for the month. Turn it off. Okay, I'll be back next month. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, and if that was the case, I would make sure you had a show scheduled for that next month before you ended that last one. But you need to make sure, and I'm pretty sure that your income limit is your profit. It is not your sales. So on $1,000 in sales, probably 500 of that is profit after you take into account the fees that are 20% almost everywhere, your shipping supplies, your mileage is also taken out of that, and your, like, all of your postage. So when you see $1,000 in sales on eBay, that includes postage, which is very expensive now. So if you can only make 500, you could have 1,000 in sales and you're still only making that 500. And that's a question for an accountant, but I'm 90% sure that is the way. It is profit. It is not sales, because that's not your income after expenses. So you need to ask an accountant. But again, if you want to sell to resellers, go on Whatnot, sell it, and then when you hit that amount, stop. I think that would be pretty easy. That would be much easier than turning an eBay store off after you hit it. You know?
Mm.
Live sales, you could just stop doing them. All right. This, we already got that one. Dave just put question because he wants to say hi to Sonny. And we're the gang. It's Sonny and the gang.
Gang.
Dave, if you have internet and can do lives, I would love to have you on again. Dave hasn't been on in forever. Dave is a nurse as well, and a reseller. Message me. I'd love to have you on again. Catherine says, Kat, I watch your research videos and see items sell for hundreds and often thousands of dollars. Do you know if sellers actually get paid those high prices, or do the buyers often cancel? I'm not allowed on eBay now. I would say, if I had to guess, probably 75 to 80% of them are getting paid, because what I will see if they did not get paid is that the item has been relisted, and those I do not show in those videos. If it's been relisted and it did not get paid for, I don't show them in the videos. Or are you saying she's saying she's not allowed. It's canceling is not allowed. The only thing is, and you could, if you watch the video and you watch it soon after I put it out, you can go on Terapeak and see what offer was accepted. I put a time into research videos. I'm not putting extra time to go on Terapeak and look up what was accepted for every offer. I don't have the time to do that. But if you were that invested in knowing what offer was accepted, feel free to go to Terapeak. And I've had people comment because they were that interested. They went on Terapeak, they found it, and they'll comment what offer was accepted on an item. And I do say when I see that an offer was accepted. But the auctions, if they weren't paid for, those sellers would have relisted it. So I think probably a high percent of the auctions are paid for. Marcella wants to know, has anyone had their own tag sale and handled it themselves? I just found out I have to move. I have a huge death pile. I need to downsize as rent's crazy in New York and she needs money. So have you, I'm like a tag sale, I guess. I feel like she's talking like on a bigger scale, almost like an estate sale type of thing, like a downsizing estate sale.
I've never done an estate sale by myself, but I've had large garage sales that I've done myself. I don't know how you guys do it. I know a lot of there's like back and forth on this about pricing stuff, not pricing stuff. I don't price stuff at my garage sales, and I sell out almost every time, or just about sell out.
I had a garage sale a week ago, so.
And you didn't call me, Geno?
No, I didn't call you.
Geno.
Come on, you.
Oh, now I don't want. That's it. I'm going.
I like to put up big old signs, this sold on eBay for this much, and put prices on everything at my yard sales. No, I'm just joking. I don't do that. I haven't had a yard sale in years. We had one at an apartment here, and I was really surprised. It was when I first started getting into reselling, and I was buying a lot of junk. It was good, but it was like $1, $2, $3. I didn't know about sell-through rates at the time. And again, Carla was like, clean this stuff out. So I ended up making $700 in 3 hours at this yard sale, or within our community, a gated community. And I remember having to go pay rent, and the lady was like, how's your sales doing? I was like, I made $700 She was like, what? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, yeah, I closed early too, because it was just too much, like I not too much. I sold a lot to where everything else, I was just take it. And it was freaking awesome. I would love to do more yard sales, but being a content creator now, and some things that have happened in the past with YouTuber drama, I don't chance sharing our information, which is why I ended up getting a P.O. box to safeguard my family, especially now that we have our little Bambino. But that'd be fun. I'm kind of been itching to do some yard sales, like sell myself. And Carrie, who we've had on here before, the Desert Mermaid, she's always telling me when she has one, like, bring your stuff over, but it's a lot of work. to take your stuff over to somebody
It
else.
is a lot,
and then
yeah.
pack
It
all
is
back
a lot
up
of work. And don't hold out for top dollar either. If you need to get rid
No.
of it, just bottom price it and get rid of it.
Yeah. Well, that's why I started Whatnot again. Everything's bottom dollar starting at $2, regardless of what it is.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I know, I think Max Sold is like Seller Run. That's an online auction site, but that would be a ton of work. That would be more work because you're going to have to photograph every single thing that you want to put. But if you made lots of stuff, then you could do that and get rid of it and get fast money. So I would look at maxsold.com. When I bought pallets, I used to do yard sales, and I've done yard sales. But I didn't I've never done like a downsizing. I'm not like I don't see how people move frequently. I'm set once I'm somewhere. Like I'm not going nowhere. Like my friend is in like her third house in 2 years. I'm like, yeah, no, no. So yeah, you could do it if you want to put the work in. I think you could do it. It's just going to be a ton of work. But like Marsha said, be prepared because it's a tag sale. It's not, it's not selling it online. But I would look at Max Sold. So here's a follow-up question. It's Marcella. So if she does get people to help, how much do you think she should pay people to help?
A case of beer, pizza,
A case of beer.
a pizza.
If it's her friends,
I'll
but
do
if
it for
she's
the trip.
hiring somebody, are you going to go to New York for a case of beer?
No.
Depends how cold it is. I think a good question is sometimes people don't want to get paid, especially friends. You might have things to be like, hey, look around for some things. What do you think spare?
Yeah, trade them
Yeah,
stuff.
barter.
Yes, there you go.
I'm the type of person that I do like to give. I like to give money over in somebody's hand. I have never liked, ever since I was a kid, when my cousins would be like, hey, can I borrow money, right? Say I give them $5. Then I visit them at their house and they're like, you want a sandwich? And then later on they're like, hey, I owe you, but you ate a sandwich. I don't like that type of people where they're cutting me off with items where it's like, look, money is money. Some people might prefer money. They might say like, $20. Some people might say like, I'll take this dress or something instead. Like just ask, but be willing to pay too. Like, do what you feel is right, and know that the people that are helping you, if they are friends, that these are your friends. Take care of them. You should be taking care of them more than anybody else.
Yeah. I was looking, and it looks. I'm not as dependent as some people I know. But I would do like Sonny. Of course, you could ask, like, maybe they would want a big piece of furniture that's worth like $500, and that would get you a lot of help, or they could use like a dining room table or a sofa or bed or something. It's going to be hard because, like, what are you going to have them help do? Are you going to trust them enough to price things? Are you going to separate stuff and it's in a pile and all this stuff's $5 and they're putting stickers on? If that's the case and it's just like mundane labor, I would pay a minimum wage, personally. And then you have to think, are you paying them minimum wage cash under the table? Or like, how are you going to pay them? So I would think about that too. Are you going to 1099 them, or are you just losing this money? Because if you're just writing them a check, and not going to 1099 them, it's not technically a business expense. So yeah, there's a lot to think about.
Or maybe just ask them, hey, what would it take to get you to help me?
That,
if
or
it's somebody she knows, she can ask.
Yeah, well,
but
yeah.
if she's going to have to place an ad or something, that's going to be a whole different story.
Yeah, if it's not friends or say neighbors, somebody you're comfortable with, you could see if there's estate sale people that could do it for you. You're still going to have to look over your stuff because you want to make sure your area is secure. But that's going to end up involving being getting into paying for taxes and stuff. It's not something that's going to be under the table. So that might be something you're interested in or not. Getting an actual company to help you out with it.
Well,
Yeah.
Marcella, the only advice I could give you is first, don't use any of Sonny's relatives. They'll just ask for sandwiches and never pay you. So forget that.
Yeah. Can't stand them.
It's a tough one to have people do for do that. No, I wouldn't do it. I don't know, but she's in a position she has to, I guess.
All right.
If I was closer, I'd help you.
Yeah, we're far from. I don't know where you're at in New York. I have a friend in New York that was looking for work, but I don't know where they are either. Tell me where you're at, and then I will message and ask them where they are at, and maybe y'all are close enough that they could help. I don't know how soon you're wanting to do it. Let me see. Okay. I asked where they're at. All right. Kate says, I have had eBay make offers on my behalf twice now within 2 weeks. Has anyone else had this happen? It happens when customers are asking questions on an item.
Is there a setting to make automatic offers?
Yes.
You must have that toggled on.
I was just going to say the same thing. There's a setting where you send an offer and it'll say, do you want to send automatic offers? And eBay will just keep sending offers. Just shut that off and you won't have that problem anymore.
I just started back up on eBay yesterday, and I haven't had this issue yet.
Well, yours might be.
I haven't noticed it, but I do the automatic offers. And normally, like if they're asking a question on it, it pops up for me to send an offer, but I've never seen eBay send an offer. I've seen my auto offers that I sent out like on there when they have a question, but I have not seen them making offers on my behalf. And she said she was thinking of asking a few resellers to take things. Yeah, I mean, if you're in like reseller groups, or you can ask in here too. I saw somebody asking how to contact you off of here. Yeah, if you're in a reseller group, you could be like, hey, I'm in XYZ. I'm looking for help. I want to do a tag sale. I would love to trade inventory for help, or, something like that in a group. So yeah. Yeah, Kate, I haven't seen them do it with offers that were not mine. Luckily, I don't know what I'd do. I'd not be happy. Odalali says, do you have a good luck charm or weird ritual you do before a sourcing trip?
Not really.
Wait, I made a video about a year ago about walking into a Goodwill backwards, walking into it sideways, driving, and see which Goodwill I made more money on. Well, the one I walked in backwards, I made more money on. So that's as far as I can tell you about weird things.
Do you still do that, though?
Yeah, but I don't tell anybody anymore.
Okay.
It was fun to do. The film was, I laughed the whole time doing it. I would drive in backwards into the parking lot. It really doesn't make a difference, but it was fun filming it.
Marsha, did you have a?
No, I don't have any.
No,
I just go.
The only thing
Well,
I do.
I haven't gone out thrifting, and I couldn't tell you how long. So.
Well, you need to get back in there, girl.
I work at a thrift store, Sonny. I don't need to.
You just need to do it. Just walk in. Just get that whiff of that Goodwill scent.
No.
Spectacular. Wish they made candles for that. But I turn off my tracking on my phone because my wife tracks me. I swear, like 2 minutes inside a thrift store, she's calling, where you at? And I'm like, you know where I'm at. You're following me on my phone. So I just started turning it off. That's my good luck charm. Don't mess with me when I'm in my business mode.
Start walking in backwards.
Yeah, I'm going to walk in backwards and turn off tracking next time.
Yes.
I'm going to do it, Geno. I'm going to say,
Okay.
Geno said walking backwards. Let's see what I find if I walk in backwards.
And next week you
Film
tell
it.
me.
Film it.
I don't really have one. And I don't go out to source anymore. So my answer is no, I don't have one. Miss Kelly, hello. Feel like I haven't seen you in a while. Will I have the challenge next quarter too? I'm in the process of moving to my new house and working my day job, so I had to put myself on time away for May. Yeah, we might even do it every month. I'll see how it goes, and like I don't think I anticipate it being like much work for me. Once we have the spreadsheet, Trish helped me because I was like, I can't formulate. Like I'm not a spreadsheet person either. I'm like, could you please go in and fix this? So yeah, we might do it monthly. It's really just to be accountable for ourselves, but yeah, you can see what everybody else is doing. And yeah, so if it helps and we like, if we keep doing it, I almost feel like we should maybe make like a Facebook group for like listing challenge group, where everybody could chit chat about it. Separate from, I did post about it in Death Pile Destruction, but I almost feel like if we had our own little group, there's 60 people in there doing it, it would kind of be easier to see the posts and stuff, because Pile Destruction has like 17,000 I think in there now.
Something like that,
So if it's something I think we're going to continue doing, I think that maybe that's something that we could do, and then I would need some of you to help us with that. And yeah, and I would like to, and like me and Trisha talked about it, because I don't want it to be a contest about who lists more. That's not the point of it.
Right.
So I don't want to do like whoever lists the most gets this. That's not the point, because for some people 2 a day is great. For others 5 is. Like I said, I know I can do 50 on a good day. It's more for yourself and holding yourself accountable. And other people are looking, so you're like, oh, that's like Marsha was talking about, like going through her storage unit because she knew, like, because she had told people she was going to do videos, kind of the same thing. You tell people and you did. So the answer is probably yes, and it might even be more frequent than like once a quarter. I saw that Marsha answered Miss Barbara in the chat, but I wanted to throw this up here anyways. Bibles can ship media mail. Anything can ship media mail if it is not, as long as it does not have advertisements in it. That's the thing. That's life for you says, will eBay ding you if you use a phrase like in the style of for a vintage item that isn't signed but looks really close to designer?
They can. It is against their terms of service. If somebody turns you in, I guess they could get you.
Yeah, I never use that term. I think it's kind of tricky.
It's word spamming, yeah.
No, I don't. I guess they could.
I try to make titles, captions, descriptions as clear as possible. It's like Murano. I see that a lot. It's like
Murano
things,
style.
like I don't do that because I want it to be as clear as day. People like it. They see what they're looking for. They're going to go for it, which is why I'm big on descriptions, size, and the quality of something. If the paint is etched off or gold gilt rubbed off, like I add those little details there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they can ding you, and it can be considered keyword spamming.
Yeah.
So be very, very careful. Hold on one second. Let's see. Carlene said, I'm going to thin out my older inventory. I'll probably bring it to Goodwill. Can I deduct this in any way as a tax deductible donation and value it for $5 to $7 per item?
Again, we're not tax accountants. Please, contact your tax accountant for this, but you can't just arbitrarily pick a number. You have to, well, you kind of do, but I mean, if you've got a cost of goods that you paid for it, then that's what the number you would use. Otherwise, they kind of want garage sale prices, but that's kind of arbitrary. But
I don't bring anything to Goodwill anymore. I go to any place but Goodwill to drop off stuff. But when I used to go, they just, how much is your stuff worth? You say $1,000, they write 1,000 and you can deduct it off your taxes.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't go to Goodwill anymore, and either should you.
Not an ambassador for Goodwill.
No.
I just donated some stuff, I think about a month ago, to Goodwill. Sorry, Gino. And I still have the form. It's in my truck. And it doesn't really say anything about what I did that I gave them, as in like how many items or the worth. It's very vague. I'll see about sharing that online later and try to figure out like how I'm actually supposed to use this for taxes, but it wasn't very much, in my opinion, that it's worth putting over on taxes because it wasn't really anything
And
big.
you have to have a pretty good amount before it even
Yeah.
matters, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So
So I have never donated where I got the paper for it, like they were saying. So I haven't had that experience. But one of the main reasons I don't donate is like a standard tax deduction. Like even though my corporation, like I have an LLC, I file as an S corp, it still rolls into my personal taxes, and a standard deduction is higher than what I would ever donate in a year. So I don't
like $20,000 or something like that.
Yeah, like unless you're going to donate over $20,000, it doesn't matter.
And you probably already deducted the cost of goods on your taxes, most likely anyway. So,
right. Yeah, so most times I don't think that's why I'd rather give it to a person that I know can use it than Goodwill, who you don't know what they're doing. Maggie says, I listed a lot of stuff yesterday. Today I got a notice from eBay to send offers. 2 of the 3 items were just listed. So do you send offers on newly listed items?
Yes, I will. Usually only about 10% in the beginning if it's just newly listed. Because obviously somebody's looking at it. So I want to catch them. And if I've got enough in it and my cost of goods are low, and I, price it accordingly, that I know 10% is going to be good. And if I make a sale, make a sale. Let it go.
At first, I didn't like doing that, but you figure, I just listed it. They like it. I'll get top dollar. But now, I'll send out a 10% offer because I definitely priced it where I want anyway. So 10% less is, right. I'm still making a lot of money.
Yeah, I go with my feelings of if I want something to be discounted or marked down, but I don't do it for everything. I pick and choose items. Usually it's like a category of things that I have that I'm like, okay, I want to clear more space out from the jeans because I have a lot of jeans building up. I don't do like a little bit of everything. I kind of more of a category discounting person.
So I will send it if I listed it 5 minutes ago. I don't care if I go in to send offers. I will accept them too. If they're like 10%, I accept an offer of, it was 20% off on something I had listed less than an hour before, but I got it free and it was a $42 offer. I listed it at 50. It'll be in my video tomorrow. I'm like, I hope this isn't something Google Lens didn't find anything like it. I just said, I'm going to price it at $49.99. And then I got a $42 offer. I accepted it and, it sold in an hour. And I'm like, it's a little like Japan bee figurine, a little boy in a bee costume. And I was zero into it. So, I'm happy with what I got, but I hope nobody sees it. It's like, oh, that's $1,000 figurine. I'll be like, oh man, and good on whoever got it, if that's the case. But yes, I want stuff gone. And the thing is, and years ago I had it happen over and over. I think you really need to look at like how your sales are going. Like if you're having slow sales and what you paid for the item, not just have this set amount, that's why, like, to me, like, yeah, I have that 10% in my head, but I have a $42 offer on an item I got free. Like, why, why am I not going to take it? Yeah, it's only been listed an hour. Now, stuff I paid up for is a little bit of a different story. So that's why I said you got to kind of take all of these things into account. But don't have like something set. And what I was saying is I've had it where I got an offer like an hour after I listed something and it was like a decent offer. I countered, they didn't accept, and then I had the item still 3 years later. And I'm like, why didn't I take that offer an hour into listing it? And it could have been gone. So just think hard about that.
Yeah, because when you just first listed it, that's when it's still high up in the search and your eyes are on it. So.
Right. And if people have like search parameters set, they're getting notified if they're looking for that kind of item. I'm trying to think of how Chris used to say it. I want to put this up. He used to say be attached to money, not your stuff. Right. Like that's not your stuff. Like you got that to make a profit on it. Don't be attached to the stuff, you know, make the money. That's life for you says, do you have a minimum number of photos that you try to post per item? She's saying she thinks that I mentioned something about having a certain number of photos that was more appealing to buyers. And I'll talk about that when it gets to me.
Yeah, I think eBay likes to see 8 or more. Is that the number? I think.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
That.
So, well,
I always.
no, so
well,
you
I mean,
can
not
look
like
at
a
listing
set,
quality
but...
report, and each category they have a number of photos. But what I found, the most I saw was 7. Like some were 5, some were 6, some were 7. So I was like, well, I'm going to do 8 because that was more than any category I saw when I looked at my listing quality report. So we do 8. And that doesn't matter if you copy them. eBay knows like the majority of sales in this category have 6 pictures. So we're going to show buyers listings with 6 pictures before we show buyers listings with 4 pictures. Because historically, listings with 6 pictures sell.
I tend
but
to
they don't know what they are. So you could copy. If you took 4, you just copy them and have 8, and then you meet their parameters.
Yeah, I probably have at least 8 to 10, and I probably at least half the time I'll have all 25 pictures. Because like this little wall pocket vase, I'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. At least 8 pictures just for this little tiny wall pocket vase. Because I do every angle. I'll do a close-up. I put a ruler, take a picture with a ruler, any blemishes, anything. So 8 to 10 just for this little thing here, minimum. And that's usually my average, at least 8 to 10 or more.
I'm going to hire Marsha to take my pictures. 8 to 10. Wow. I do front, back, side, top, bottom, and then a close-up of the brand name. And
you're at 6 right there, Geno, though.
Yeah.
That's it.
You don't measure stuff? You don't show a tape measure?
No, I'll put in size, and I'll definitely tell them the size. Size goes in every item.
See, we show it with the tape measure. We show,
I always do.
Yeah.
And everything.
So it feels like I'm slacking over here. I think it depends on what kind of items you have. Like in the beginning of this live, I was knocking out some of my videos because after this, I got to feed my son. But little packets of buttons, like I just measured them, put them the size in the description. If they're just solo dolo pins, I just did front and back, just showing the best view that I possibly could. But I think if it was something a lot different than still got this over here. Like I would show the different petals of the pulled feathers of this glass. The top side, that would have definitely a lot more photos, and it's also worth a lot more than the pins and the signature that's on the inside. And I have several of these, and for things like this, I would take their own photos. I wouldn't just have one general set of photos to go with everyone unless I sell it as a set. So I think it depends. More photos depending on how the item actually looks, the design of it to capture the quality and condition of what you're posting it for and the value.
Yeah, and I came up with the 8 because, like I said, we ran a report on. Trish had me run like a listings quality report, and the only thing I was short on was by like a half a picture on every category. And like I said, some of them were 6, some were 7, some were 5. So we just decided, well, if we do 8, that's more than all of the categories that are in my top categories, and that's where I came up with 8.
You can easily get 8 pictures on almost anything.
Yeah, it's not.
Seriously.
Marcella wants to know if you do get storage units. So those of you that have them or have had them, do you get climate controlled units?
Absolutely. Especially here in Florida. You have to have climate controlled. In fact, I even looked for a unit or a facility. It's a newer facility. It's a 3-story, and I got the second floor kind of in the middle of the building. So I don't get the heat from the ceiling, and a lot of dust is downstairs. So I got the first floor or the second floor. So I did that on purpose.
Mine wasn't climate controlled. It was a 10 by 20, and it wasn't climate controlled.
I have climate control. The thing with climate control is that it could still go out. There's always our place, even though it's new, the one I had before, friends that had different units in other places, storage units, the power would go out and everything warms up. And if you're needing your inventory to not be harmed by warmer weather, then you got to try to figure it out for yourself. But usually that goes in and out. Power will turn off from time to time, but never too bad to where it's going to really cause big damage. So I think that's pretty important to ask too when you rent a place, if you go in person, because a lot of things are done online now and you don't really see the place. You're looking at more of like what Marsha just said. Do I want the bottom level? Because it might sound convenient for you to just drive up and open it, but then is that more accessible to somebody who has prying eyes? And places like storage units get broken into every time. I just had a gentleman message me. We've been talking for a few months now. He wants to sell me some stuff, and he tells me about all his units. And somehow somebody got into his storage units, stole all of his vintage jewelry that he's had for quite some time, probably like 300 pounds of vintage jewelry. And he has no idea how they opened it because the lock was still on there. There was nothing that was bent like the tin walls, and he is brain boggled and he couldn't do nothing about it. So insurance is another thing to tackle on to what you have. If it's pretty valuable, you want to take care of it too.
Yeah, I had a drive-up unit when I first, because I have extra space storage just like you do, Sonny. And they have the drive-up ones, and I started with that unit because I thought, oh, cool, I can just drive my car right up to it and everything else. The dust and the bugs still get in, and I did not want that, so I literally moved everything again to the second floor. I found some units. I have 4 units, and they're all right together. So that's another thing to keep in mind. You know, some of the older facilities, look at them too. I mean, look at them, but as compared to a newer unit, because the older facilities, they don't take care of them very well, I guess is the best way to put it. So you could have issues with, you know, like you said, the electricity going out or the AC's not working well or whatever.
Yeah, and for me, and I need to do an updated like shed video, because I've done like tours where I show like how I'm storing different things. We've changed a little bit. We're still in the process, but every single area that I have is climate controlled. All of these sheds have AC. I don't do heat. We do heat in the one we work in, but we don't do heat in the other ones. But we also, and I had a dehumidifier and I had it like draining through a hole in the floor. Like I put the tubing and it kept like clogging up. So now I buy like the damp rid bags that hang and will pull the humidity out of the air. I have them on Amazon Subscribe and Save, and the little buckets too. And I'll set them in each room, like in the sheds. I don't think we have one in here, because if this shed has a big AC, and the ACs dehumidify themselves. That's evidenced by the bucket full of water on my porch from the AC dripping. But the other ones have smaller ACs. So in there, like in the second house, I have like the moisture grabbers in every single room and the living room. And then in the little shed, we have them in 4 corners because it's actually the only one without good insulation. We put up like the pink stuff and it keeps falling down. So it gets more humid in there. Here in Florida, the humidity, like you will kill stuff like leather, purses, clothing, linens. It will get mold. It will get mildew. So it really depends on your area. Like we don't have to worry about like the freezes, you know, where some people, depending on how cold it could damage, like you could break your glass if it gets cold enough, you know, it could crack glass. So I would look at your temperature where you're at, but if I got a storage unit, I think I would have to get a climate controlled one. Jen wants to know, is there a way to see sold prices on Etsy? I can't
Sorry.
hear you. Are you muted?
Sorry. Yeah, I was. I don't think directly on Etsy you can see. There's no way to like filter solds. But if you Google lens and you see something on Etsy and go to it, then it'll say see original listing or something like that, or see more. You can click on it, it will show you what it sold for. Unless they've changed it.
I don't sell on Etsy.
I don't sell on Etsy either.
The only way I see sold prices on Etsy is when I pull up Google Lens and I find my item and I click it and it'll show you what it sold for. I don't know how to search on Etsy and find the sold.
You can't.
Somebody told me there's a way, but I don't. It's not easy like eBay where you just toggle a couple of things.
Yeah, I've never been able to find it.
Items from the South says, why does eBay tell me I can send offers, and then when I try to, eBay tells me the item is not eligible? Is that a problem for anyone else? It is so annoying.
Especially lately, I think there's been glitches because I'll get the same thing when I go to send something, and then 20 minutes later I'll try again and it's fine and lets me send the offer. Sometimes it's because it's like in a country that won't accept those kind of items, or the person has stopped watching it and deleted it off their list. That can happen too. It's no longer being watched. So those are a few things.
Yeah, that's what I would say. If they stop watching it, then who are you sending the offer to? And I think that's why you're getting that can't send an offer, because there's no one to send it to.
I don't know.
I have it happen, but I don't know why it happens. It doesn't happen like overly often, but it does happen. And then lately, I've been seeing quite a few that say pending. Like I can send them an offer, but it's pending, which I have no clue what or why. Yeah, it's just started happening. I feel like probably like the last month or so.
I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, it's weird. They're at like the bottom of my offers when I go to send them. But I, like Marsha said, sometimes I'll refresh it and then it'll let me. So I don't know if it's a glitch or what it is. Why are you freezing, computer? There it goes. Dusty wants to know, are more of you switching from USPS to UPS now because of the rate hike?
Nope. I'm just staying the course. Nope.
I always pick what's the cheapest. That's what I do. And matter of fact, FedEx has been cheaper lately for me. So I've been using that. And they're a little bit further away to drop off my packages. But to save $2 or $3 on 5 packages, I'll take the trip.
Till they nail you on the back end.
Well, they got me.
I know, right? Yeah, that's why.
I won't use FedEx at all.
That's why I bring it straight to the place. Because I told the girl.
Doesn't matter. They'll still get you sometimes.
They got me for 25 pounds on an 8-ounce item. I went nuts, but I still never got the money back.
Yeah, I only use USPS.
Yeah, and we've been sticking still to USPS as of right now. Because I'm pretty sure that USPS, like under a pound, is still cheaper than UPS.
Yeah.
Now, and 2-pound stuff, we haven't looked at switching. I think it's more of a habit thing than it is anything else. I don't know. It's really something to think about and contemplate. I need to, like, I'm not the one doing daily shipping. My employee's doing it, but I might tell her to start like clicking and seeing like what the UPS rates are compared to USPS, because it's not necessarily, I'm not against it. Walgreens and CVS might hate us if we did that.
And do they even have the room for all that?
I don't know. I mean, so it's really only Mondays, and Whatnot still goes through the post office, which is like the big majority of our packages. But like we don't have a UPS. We have a UPS store, but they open and close whenever they want here. So we just drop at Walgreens and CVS. But yeah. I think this is for, do I have one for online sourcing, like a plate full of snacks, light a candle or something? No, maybe I should. I was super stressed out yesterday, and I ordered like, and this was just like totally random, but I ordered, that was the chips and dip I was eating earlier. I ordered chips and dip and ice cream, and I like Magic Shell. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but you put it on and it's like syrup, and then it gets hard and makes a shell in the ice cream, and I'm obsessed with that stuff. And Tyler does our grocery shopping at Aldi's, and they don't have it, and I was like, I'm ordering it from Walmart. And so yeah, I like binged. I don't eat that much anymore, so my binging is really not binging. But no, maybe I should start doing that though. Constance wants to know, do I price items the same on Etsy compared to eBay? I price everything the same on all platforms. And I do free shipping on, I actually on Mercari do free shipping on about 90% of my items because their fees are about 8% less than everywhere else. So on Mercari, I have free shipping on almost all of my items because the fees are less, but the price is still the same. So they get like it, if you want to buy something for me, the cheapest place to do it is Mercari, just FYI. And I was doing it on Posh, and now I don't. I just leave shipping on Posh. But I like, oh, it's probably been like 3 years since my mom worked for me. When my mom worked for me, I was doing a cross posting. We used to mark Etsy items up by 20%, but I don't do that anymore. Michelle wants to know, does everyone have an LLC?
Nope.
I did, but then after 2 shots of penicillin, it went away.
I do. That's funny, you know. Funny, not funny.
Yeah, I have had mine for years. And we have an LLC, but we file as S corp, because I think it's if you make over like 40,000 in profit a year, you get more tax benefits filing as a corporation than you do as an LLC. Cheryl wants to know, I guess, is eBay getting like where you can put 40 pictures? She said she wants to know if any of us have where you can put 40. She said she has a 24 limit, but she would like 40 for some of her comic book blogs.
I think I heard something where they're going to be rolling that out or has started rolling it out. I don't have it. I still have the 25 or whatever, 24, 25. I don't think I'm going to need 40, to be honest with you. That's a few too many, I think.
No, I don't know.
I haven't seen it. I haven't looked. Is that like, are they rolling it out to some people? I guess
saw somewhere they're either going to or they've started. I'm not sure, but I heard something. I can't remember where I saw it though.
So listen, I got to tell you, Dusty said it is still empty, but that means they're using it. So they're making it and they're using it because the machine is on and the roll is there, and the roll is getting smaller and smaller. This roll is almost gone. Normally they're heavy and I can't pick them up. So they're using them. They're just making what they need using them, and I think they're making them before they actually need them. Let's see. Sheila said she wants to know, why don't I source at thrift stores anymore? The videos are fun to watch. I haven't been putting the auction hauls up either. I'm trying to kind of get everything organized, and hopefully I'll be able to manage it. I hope. I have a new employee who is absolutely amazing, and I've been giving him a little more hours each week, and he's taken over some stuff, and I'm going to try. I was talking with Chaz after the show, and he basically said, like, write down anything that I could let somebody take over. And I'm going to try doing that where I do have time. As far as why I'm not sourcing, because in my area, the majority of what I found was the dollar clothing that was like $15, $20, $25 stuff. And I don't have the self-control to leave it there. So if I see a $20 shirt for $1, I'm going to get it. And really, I don't want items under $25 in my store. And I source plenty of items from online estate sales that are higher dollar, that are what I want to have in my store, that I don't need to. And I was doing it primarily for content. And I decided the shelves full of crap in my shed are not worth making that content. And that's why I said I can do my auction hauls, because I've been behaving. I actually have only bought from one auction in the last month. And I think this next month, I'm probably only buying from one auction as well, which lessens the auction hauls as well. But it's kind of like, I'm hardly make anything on those videos. And then I'm spending, hundreds at the thrift store to make those videos for stuff that I really don't want. And so I just had to make that decision. So it might just be, and if I do just do the one auction, maybe I'll make it, I could do it like a series. Cause when I do buy from that, I spend like $5,000. I spent $5,000 at the last one. And just make it a series and do multiple videos and kind of explain the stuff, and the research behind it. But right now, I don't have the time for the second channel until I can.
You can go watch all my videos of my unboxing my storage unit.
Yeah, Marsha's shopping in her. I'm going to shop in my own shelves. And Prissy had jewelry. I don't know if I can show you guys. Where is it? See that box? So that whole section was full of jewelry that I had given her that I wanted listed, but was not over $50. So that means it was probably $25 to $50 jewelry. And so if it was over 50, I gave it to her and said, I want it listed right away. It has sat there for over a year. I said, put it in a bag, bring it in the house. I'm going to go through it again. And I think a lot of it's going to go on Whatnot. Regardless, like a lot of it's higher dollar, but it's been sitting there for a friggin' year and it's not getting listed. And that's why I'm trying not to buy from the auction. And the problem with me is, and here's the hard part, is I do need stuff for Whatnot, and Whatnot is a big part of my income right now. But when I go on these auctions to look for stuff for Whatnot, I see the $300, $400, $500 profit items, and I can't not get them. I don't have that, like, and I've been better about it, but that's why I haven't looked at the other auctions. I've only been looking at the one that is like my main. It's the one I pick up locally, because then I can get the collections, like I can get, like we just did, like miniature clocks, which was really fun. I can find, like, they do a lot of collections on this auction. There's one this time, I'm not going to tell you what it is because I don't want anybody to find it, that I'm super excited. It'll make an amazing Whatnot show. And that ends on Sunday. But here's the thing. Rod just messaged me and what I'm buying for. So I didn't know how many he had. Okay. And I am paying him cost of what he paid, but I will tell you. So he messaged me, hey, I'll be there early in the morning. He texted me while we were live. Call me after the show. Okay. Well, the total is thousands of dollars, which will severely impact my auction budget that ends on Sunday. And I mean, he knows I'm going to buy. I know they sell. I know they're worth it. And so now I have to spend thousands of dollars with Rod that I was going to spend on that auction. And I have money in savings. But yeah, so I'll probably go remove a lot of stuff from my watch list. That's what I'll do. I'm like, I'll just take it off, because then I won't look through the auction again. I'll just look at my watch list and I'll take the stuff off, like a few things a day. But yeah, so that's why it's not profitable for me to thrift. Did eBay ever let you send offers as soon as someone puts the item in their cart? So I think that's what the automatic offers are. Like, soon as somebody likes it or probably puts it in their cart, they're getting an offer on it. That is what the automated offers are, which those have been for what? Probably a year now, right? Yeah. It's been a long time. Christina says, Kat, are your sheds metal or wood? I have an adorable wood one, but it doesn't hold enough. I know there are some extremely cheap, reasonable metal sheds, but they don't withstand the weather. So the first one I got is metal, and I put the pink stuff in it. And I will tell anybody who will listen, especially if you're in Florida, that paying the money for spray foam insulation is 110% worth the money. I wish I had done it, but now that daggum shed is full. I've thought about emptying it to get the spray foam because, yes, the metal sheds are... all of the sheds after the first one are wood, and all of the sheds after the first one have spray foam insulation. Like, if you see, look. So I was going to make it all pretty because, like, look, see the spray foam? Like, Kevin has his so pretty, and I'm like, I really don't care if I have a textured wall. So you just see the spray foam insulation. I'm like, I don't, like, what? Do I really care? Nope, I really don't. It works, it functions, and so I would say if I got it again, like this one that I'm in was custom built for me. It's 12 by 40 and it's triple lofted. And I was bougie. I put carpet. I have no carpet in my house. I was like, I want carpet in my shed. Don't ask me, no walls, but I want carpet. This is the only place on my whole property that has carpet in here. But so I did do that. But yeah, I would say get a wood one, and I would say do spray foam. Sonny, Barbara forgot to hug you. I already answered that one. We're almost through them. Lola said, I'm disappointed. I just returned to eBay and nothing is selling unless I pay the extra promotion fees. That is their idea. That is what they want you to think. I will tell you, if you get a popular rare item, it's going to sell whether it's promoted or not. But if you have stuff that other people have, yes, the promoted is going to sell before the non-promoted. Season of Life says, I fell off the spending freeze, but it's Sonny's fault because he did a good whatnot show.
Go, Sonny.
Got another one.
I know people tell me, I'm like, well, you're getting good deals. Kitty Catapult says, do I have to use a computer to add a shipping policy? It's not showing on my phone. Do you pass on the seller shipping discount to buyers? So let's all answer if we pass on the discount.
I do not pass on the discount, but when I make the listing, I lower the weight. So like if I know it's going to go to 2 or 3 pound weight, I'm going to put a 1 pound in my listing. So the buyer's paying less, but I'm still going to make, it just works out where I still make a little bit, but they pay a lot less. But I'm not going to do the shipping discount that I get because then I'm paying this, they're paying the same amount that it's going to cost me. And you're going to lose money that way because you're paying fees on that shipping. So
I do not give the shipping discount. You're going to lose on some packages. So if I'm going to lose $2 on this, but I made $2 on that one. So I don't give money back. Not at all.
Yeah, I don't give nobody nothing. I want all the monies. And when it comes to shipping policies, I had this issue last night with my phone trying to list some things. I couldn't do it. I couldn't add or change a shipping policy. I had to come over to my computer and do it. I couldn't figure it out, and I tried. I gave it an honest effort. Good 10 minutes.
When I hear policy, that makes me think of the business policies, and I hate them. So I don't want to even look for where it's at because I don't want to use them because I've heard horror stories. I did
settings, I think.
I did pass on the buyer the discount, and I didn't notice a difference in sales, so I turned it back off. And honestly, I'm doing the free shipping on the jewelry, but I really don't think it has impacted or increased my sales. I'm going to probably leave it because it's really not that much of a difference, and it probably is helping me in the algorithm, but I have not noticed a big increase in sales from doing free shipping. All right, let me make Marsha and Geno big to tell you guys bye. We got through all of the questions, and it is 9:59. Geno was psychic tonight. He said we're getting through all the questions. All right, so here is Miss Marsha.
Hey everyone, sorry I was late earlier. It's been a day. Yeah, I was having technical issues with the computer, but I got it fixed. I put up my last video yesterday on my series of unboxing the stuff in my storage unit death pile, so make sure to check that out. I am about 90 subs away from 1,000, so I am getting close. So that would be great if you would subscribe too. I know, I'm being selfish. And starting next Monday evening, 7 p.m. Eastern, I am back on Whatnot.
May the 4th be with you. That's how I remember.
Well, my birthday's Sunday on the 3rd, so it'll be a birthday coming back. Doing costume jewelry. So I've got a bunch of shows scheduled, so check that out as well.
Perfect. Here's Geno.
Well, everybody, first of all, you got to watch Marsha, Sonny, and Kat's channel. And then if you have some time left, I'd like you to come over and visit me. And I bet we have a few laughs. And I'll show you what I buy, how much I paid for it, and what I expect to get. Okay, see you in a few weeks.
Perfect. Sonny, what's going on?
I have a scarf shelf scarf sale tomorrow. Whatnot, a scarf
He
shelf.
has a scarf shelf that he's going to sell scarves from.
See, he can't talk either.
Shelf, no screws. You figure it out. No, I got probably around 100, mostly vintage scarves that I'm gonna sell. I sold some yesterday because I wanted just to see how they're doing, and they're doing pretty good. They're selling anywhere from starting price to $2, which is also pretty awesome when they sell for asking price. But when they sell for like more, it's even better. So that's gonna be my go tomorrow. I think it's like at 2 p.m. and then I have other ones scheduled afterwards. But my plan is to continue clearing out my garage and my office. This coming week is or next week is the last week of my go to get it all done and not have to deal with it again.
All right. I'm going to tell you my Whatnot shows real quick, and then I'm going to show you my jewelry. I'm going to try and be fast. I know Sonny has to feed a baby. Tomorrow, I am doing the new scrubs. They are new scrubs with tags. I am starting them at $3. If you're a reseller, this is going to be a good buy. I think I did max shipping. These are $30, $40, $50 scrubs. I got them for $1. I'm going to start them at $3. I think I have over 50 pairs of them. So that's tomorrow. It says tomorrow at 6:24 p.m. I'm going to edit that. It's going to be at 3:30 p.m. I must have scheduled it at 6:24 p.m. whenever I scheduled it. Okay. It is now changed to 3:30 p.m. And then on Thursday, I'm doing license plates. There are over 300 of them already cataloged. If you want to go pre-bid, same thing. There's plenty of room for resellers. These are not the ones that I had listed for long. These are brand new ones. They have never been listed anywhere. And there are a lot of them that'll sell for over 20. So 3 is good. Jewelry on Friday. Saturday, we're going to the Rays game again because Chase Rice is in concert after the game and it's included with my ticket. And then Sunday, I will be back with linens. I will have the linens. I haven't scheduled a watch show because I really haven't got new watches. And everybody wants the wine watches and I only have the quartz watches. Okay. 3D printer stuff. Email me, thenurseflipper@yahoo.com if you want it. I put a picture up. Look at the necklace stand and it has the hooks for the necklaces. That's one of them. A lot of people like this one. This one's really thin, so this one's cheaper for me to make, and it has earring holes, and I can do them any color, but it will hold a heavy necklace. My ring sizer, everybody's asking. I'm going to try and get this in a store, I promise. Earring holders, I just made these. I thought they were like my cheap ones I had. They're not. They're thick, and they're really heavy, and they're nice. My other, look, pink. I just bought another 3D printer. Come buy some jewelry stuff from me. The bracelet holders and then the bracelet sizers and the brooch holders. That's all my jewelry stuff that I made so far. But I think I'm selling them all for cheaper than you can get them on Amazon. So they're not expensive. And tomorrow I will have a video out. I think that is it. Yeah, any of those I can make any color you want. At all. And then I have my bubble wrap holders. Sonny, thank you for being here week after week after week. I appreciate it. Marsha and Geno, thank you guys for coming. Yeah, the ring sizers are nice because you don't have to hold the mandrel. So I'm trying to find stuff I like to use. All of you in the chat, we could not do this without you. I appreciate you all so much. We are here every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Next week, on my son's birthday, Cinco de Mayo, we are going to have Josh from Harry Tornado along with Katie Reeds, who is one of my best friends. So it will be an amazing, amazing show next week. Oh, thank you. $2 on Temu. I'm cheap. I quit getting them done. $2. I will, yeah, so super, super fun show next week. We will see you guys next week, and come see us in the listing challenge too. If I do a group for it, I will make a post for you guys on Facebook and Instagram. Bye guys.